All right. Should be a-okay now. I mean, everything's good on that. All right, Barb, you ready to do this?
Ready as I'll ever be.
All right, we're at round 2 of FNFEU. Round 1 was a desyncy mess, unfortunately, that caused the server to die, so it is being skipped. I'm going to turn down my music just a tad. I forgot how loud this song is. I forgot how...
And I gotta pull your stream back up real quick.
Oh, don't be a stream sniper, sir. I know, right? I'm so funny. I'm so funny. Yes. Yeah, I know. It's great.
In the end, yes?
Yep. This is the part where you shoot me in the face, right?
I mean, if you want me to.
Fuck's sake. Alright, so basically it's OPFOR 545 versus BLUFOR 556, unless something has changed. Wow. Oh my gosh, the render. The render. They were all like, flesh that hates SCP, whatever that designation is. Ay. But I'm not seeing any fancy scopes here, so it's a one-time scope sort of deal with CCOs and whatnot, holo sites. And we have armored humvees.
Oh,
I know, holo. Hey, it's because waifu. But anyway, we've got... I could have sworn I saw on the roster it was 2 armed M2 humvees, but I'm only seeing 1.
Yeah, one with an M2 and one with a 240.
Yeah, but it's said in the roster it was 2 M2s and a regular 240, so I'm gonna change that real quick.
Yeah, no, the 3 regular Humvees don't have any, actually don't have any guns at all on them, so a bit of discrepancy, but that's nothing new. But otherwise, yeah, the BLUFOR's best vehicles, you know, quote-unquote best, are going to be those up-armored Humvees. Pretty bullet resistant, might be able to take a rocket.
Dropped it, Yash, thanks.
But 2 will definitely kill it.
Yeah, and then OPFOR, they have a single PKP gas. It looks like that appears to be on the road, and the gases are pretty well armored. They're basically like mini MRAPs, to say the least. Definitely more armored than their Humvee counterparts. But otherwise, OPFOR are going to be defending a flag, and the flag is in a fairly interesting pile of junk here.
Yeah, like I said...
You sure, Yash? I mean...
I believe this is a recreation.
If you say so.
When we saw this, it was more of a fort yard, like a more encapsulated area. This
I think that's going to get too loud, though.
Junk, like you said, kind of scattered around like a junkyard.
Because I want my voice to be on parallel with Barbarians.
Personal cover, lots of...
That's what I'm going for FNF today.
Less than 5 meters.
Yeah.
Which could be interesting, but I'm concerned about these longer sight lines peering in with the chain link fence and whatnot.
Hold on, are you talking about the internal perimeter? Yeah, I do see that chain link fence you're talking about. I mean, overall, it's a decent AO. There's again, enhanced movement has been taken off of the mission for not just this week, but next week as well, because they're trying to see where the desync issues lie. But honestly, it might just be the mission files at this point. But either way, not a lot of places to hide, knowing that enhanced movement has been taken off. They can use this little scaffolding to get up to the top of this partially destroyed, I guess the proper term would be unfinished, warehouse building here to get on the sheet metal. It also greatly exposes the... I'm not even sure if people are going to be able to get up in that corner now that enhanced movement's taken care of. Maybe they could V-key through the small window, but I doubt it. So,
which window are you talking about?
So, you know, the half-finished warehouse building on the southern side? You know, I always like to put a dude up on that corner. I don't think they're going to be able to climb in there today, but either way.
We'll see. They might be able to drop down through the skylight, since the skylight appears to be gone.
Yeah.
We shall see.
I don't think they can fit through that, though. Arma usually doesn't let them fall through that spot, because that's also a window, but I don't think the window's going to be on because it's, you know, unfinished, quote-unquote.
Yeah.
But looking at this AO itself, we still have about 125, potentially up to 130 players. Give me a second. Yeah, we have about 123 people on the server right now, another 4 connecting, and we got 3 people upstairs in the channel above us that are just making sure the server's running smoothly. So we could knock back up to 130 players for this operation, so that's still going to be like a 55 v 65-70 situation for the attacking faction versus defending, but with this being a single AO type of operation, and just on the ground looking around at this section, I'm going to be honest, there are not a lot of ways I can see BLUFOR getting into the AO. The obvious vector would be the southeast, through the forest, that BLUFOR could, it's within their field here. They just follow the MSR, take a northern turn at the MSR on Wellendorf, and then follow that road up, and boom, they're in the forested areas to get around. They can either come in from the southeastern forest or the patches of forest on the northeast, but there's plenty of buildings here OPFOR could get up in and try to form some defensive lines in here, but the forest itself, I mean, there's a lot of good layers of both bushes and trees that can easily let BLUFOR get up there pretty close. But if OPFOR is smart, they'll be able to make some good defensive lines and try to stop BLUFOR from making those advances. Furthermore, OPFOR's car could easily do some circle runs to try to engage the infantry, so long as the 50 cal doesn't take it out on the M2 Humvee. What are your thoughts on this, AO?
Well, I definitely agree with you. Also, by the way, hi Whale, good to see you in chat.
Yeah, Whale's here. Nice.
Yes. We're seeing Red 4 already staging, ready to move out and get a bit of a buffer force getting out there with the gas and some infantry going off to the east. So we'll see how well...
yeah, last time there was CTF in this map, it was messy.
By Wellendorf. They may be caught off guard. We'll see if that becomes the case. I wouldn't be too surprised if they just followed this northwest to west MSR, Highway 71.
Yeah.
And went up towards Schlieskau. That's a fucking German name. Hey, I tried, alright?
Yeah, no, better than what I would have fucking said.
But yeah, I could see them also, you mentioned the forest on the eastern side, using the forest on the kind of foliage on the western side. It gets a bit more sparse, and it's not really reflected properly in the map, in my opinion. But they could try and come up this southwest of the objective, use some of the natural foliage to push up close to the town on the other side of this little pond. But we will see. Another alternative, or another possibility, I should say, would be going the long way around the eastern side, kind of by 688, that road going up there, and trying to come from the north or the northeast. You also have a lot of forest cover up there that might be useful in getting an unexpected flank on the defending garrison.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest, just looking at all these other areas, I also love how we see Dingo symbol on the map right now for the OPFOR location. There's not a lot of places, actually, for BLUFOR to come in. When you look at it on the map side, some of the ones you talked about, sure, BLUFOR can go in on those routes, but it's very, very thin. And if there's a single machine gunner watching that flank, it's going to be very easy for them to mow them down. And another thing about this area is, I'm just looking at the open field. There isn't really any defilade cover either for BLUFOR to kind of sneak in. I could potentially see some BLUFOR guys crawling prone. If you look in the northwestern area, there's a big patch of grass. On the ground level, BLUFOR might be able to crawl a few dudes up here because it also has a little bit of defilade, but it's very, very thin. I would think OPFOR just needs to have one guy watching that vector and pick people off if they try to do that, but I would fully suspect BLUFOR is going to try the forested routes, maybe a smaller team on the outskirts here, but I think the routes are kind of clear.
With that northwestern approach, there's a big old dirt mound or haze mound or whatever.
Yeah.
Right by
multiple
the intersection on the west side. So
yeah.
Even a rifleman, not even a marksman, just a rifleman up there will be able to spot any kind of sneaky, breaky movement coming up through there. But we'll see if they even consider that. It looks like a lot of them are still worrying about the southeast and the interior of the town.
Well, yeah, they're
spawning in as well.
We see OPFOR, they're already fortifying the buildings from the obvious vectors here. If I was in OPFOR command shoes, I would definitely have a fire team-sized element watching the open fields on the other side, because if they put all of their forces on one angle, I could see BLUFOR setting up to do the forested approaches, but sending like a recon vehicle around and potentially doing some thunder runs to try to find a place where they could get right on top of this area itself. For example, I don't see a lot on the southwestern corner right now, except for potentially 3 dudes right here. So if BLUFOR were to thunder run this pond and get a lot of dudes out, they could use some of the forest here to get to the left and right, as well as the pond itself for a little bit of defilade cover, and, you know, bypass a lot of OPFOR's forces. But I think there's going to definitely be a lot of luck involved here, because there's not really any recon elements from the air. It's going to be up to BLUFOR to use their vehicles and just get a little bit lucky in this AO. Otherwise, it's just going to turn into a standard slog. But there goes the mission start.
Yep, and we're seeing Twig King and his +1 in command heading off west in a quad bike real quick. The Gaz is heading south. We have some infantry spreading out to the northeastern approach, as well as just the eastern forest. So it looks like they're worrying about. I mean, obviously, BLUFOR is going to be coming from southeastern direction. They don't have an exact idea of their spawn, but they know if they're in the corner up here that, you know, there's a lot of. There's only so many ways that they can come in from, so they're spreading out pretty alright, getting some forward groups out to, I guess, try and spot some stuff. And yeah, that Gaz is actually just dropped off Basebeard.
Yeah, so it just dropped off a marksman into this town. I think they're going to try to do a counter rush and engage vehicles going into different vectors on this town.
Yeah.
Very risky to do something like that, but it could easily pay off if they're able to beat ahead. In BLUFOR, they are taking an MSR and an SSR in what appears to be a pincer movement strategy, and we're also having a quad bike break off on the southern corner. I'm willing to bet that is a marksman team probably going around. Hasinger, he is solo driving, but he is part of a different a platoon, so he could potentially be a marksman going off on his own. Meanwhile, Tarnfolk, we're seeing that Vic is stopping, and it is watching some of these BLUFOR Vics come around. Do we have any armed Vics in this convoy? Yep, they're towards the rear, interesting enough.
Yeah,
so
Panzer's doing the right thing. He's the gunner in that Gaz. He's holding fire and just getting tally on everything. But everything he's seeing is going north along, like you were talking about, north of Wellendorf, following that kind of MSR that goes into an ASR. Or SSR rather, and yeah, this is good. And now he's on the move. He's gonna try and hit him from the rear.
got it, Ash. Thank you.
With those armed humvees
Yeah.
in the back, if he can knock out the gunner, that would be huge for them.
Well, so he's got an unarmed one in the rear. I'm gonna be honest. If he just barreled it to the wall, he would have actually been able to catch a lot of these transport trucks out of position. But now we're gonna start seeing some early dismounts on these vehicles. So I think he's playing this cautious instead as a recon Vic to just try to guesstimate where BLUFOR's attack vectors are going to come in, just to make sure that OPFOR is deploying correctly here. Because you see OPFOR, they're actually branching out very far from their original spawn point. They're trying to take the edges of the tree lines to deny BLUFOR the opportunity to advance in areas that are covered by the forest. And I think that's a really smart play by OPFOR, because if they can catch a lot of BLUFOR guys out in the open, it's going to be devastating for BLUFOR.
And especially, and they're dismounting, and the Gaz is hot on their tail.
Yep.
Doesn't quite see him. There's a lot of foliage on either side of this road, so he doesn't know that they're dismounted. So he might be caught off guard with the amount of infantry down, and with that exposed gunner.
Hold up. BLUFOR flipped their Humvee cover on a rock.
The armed one?
Yeah. They flipped their 240, and that's going to catch them a lucky break. It's going to mean OPFOR catches a lucky break, but OPFOR found a dismounted vehicle and is turning around and buggering off. They reflipped it. Nice.
I didn't even see how they did it, and the Gaz is actually bugging off. I don't know.
Yeah.
They got spooked,
so the Gaz got spooked by the dismounted car right here. Again, I think OPFOR is only using that Gaz for recon purposes. They're not using it as combat, which at that point, I don't know why they're bringing the armed one in that situation, because the unarmed one with the, the armed, what am I looking for here? The fact that it's an armored vehicle in itself, it's bullet resistant. I don't know why they're, not using something like that instead of the armed one, because if you want to commit the armed one to it, I would think a rush on their back end would be extremely viable, but I don't know. I'm not the ground command here. What's good now, though, is look at this concave that OPFOR has. A little bit of an L going on, and that is going to catch a lot of BLUFOR guys out of position. I just heard a loud noise on map. I don't know what that was about.
Yeah, it sounded like someone threw a bad frag or something, but I'm not sure what that would have been.
It might have been Twig King firing a GL at Hassinger. That looks like they came close by, and the mongoose, the quad bike that Hassinger's driving,
wow.
It's because Halo forehead.
I know.
It does have a little bit of damage on it, so I think they were trying to intercept that vehicle coming in. We have the armed... Oh, we got the Gaz coming in. It's going to try to cut off that quad bike. You got the Marksman now firing, and it takes Hassinger out. Nice.
Wow.
So he was a marksman.
Yeah, marksman versus marksman, and that's a free SR25 if he wants to switch to that.
I'd be curious to see if anyone in OPFOR takes it. I mean, we just had Hassinger came down. No, that was Basspear coming down, double tapping the body. That would be a really smart play to grab for OPFOR, just an additional marksman rifle because of that additional range.
Tarnfall comes up. Everyone's just trying to get extra shots on him. Poor guy.
Yep.
Yeah, it looks like Basspear might try and take it. The 20 round of the SR25 is, well, objectively superior to the 10 round of the SVD.
So we have Flying Fin and Yanni Fin as a marksman pair going southwest along this little alcove of trees and bushes here. I guess trying to scout for the main force that's coming in. OPFOR is perfectly placed, though, for an ambush. They've got trenches put in. They're dug in. This is going to be extremely difficult for BLUFOR to push against. All right, I'm going to change the music here.
Yeah, like you said, Flying Fin and Yanni looking kind of southwest. I don't think
this is going to be a perfect beast battle.
Just because of how much foliage is there. But they need to be careful with their northwest flank. Yanni might get spotted here by Aim of the Balls, Maz, Jonathan, and this team up here in the forest line.
It is possible. If Aim of the Balls were to look a little more right, which, as I say, he does, he might have just spotted...
From his first...
No, he didn't.
Grass, yeah, the grass...
The grass is just covering it, yep.
Just barely.
Real quick. Alright, cool.
We have this northeastern group now, yeah, coming in trying to use as much force cover as possible. They're going to run into a 4-man team led by Dale.
His mic.
But the numbers advantage is decidedly in BLUFOR's favor, so they might get a little bit overwhelmed. 4AB, I don't think I've seen these guys before, so
they're new.
Yeah, they're new, but they showed up with like 15 guys, so they're showing up. So they're very interesting. It's something to keep an eye on, especially with just the number of players they've brought.
I will say, like, the northern flank of OPFOR in this L formation, they don't have any machine guns up there. And they're about to run into the northern half of BLUFOR's pincer maneuver here, so it's really limited to what they're going to be able to do here. We do have the rest of the 4IB guys down just a little lower in the L formation they're doing here that could lend assistance, but they're about to have their own issue as BLUFOR is pretty much doing a uniform battle line at this point with two different groups. It's not really a pincer maneuver at this point since both forces are right next to each other, ready to assist when need be, but I'm also seeing a lot of spacing out. Yeah, go ahead.
Tarnfalk and his gunner, they've redoubled on this attack.
Shots are going out.
They're back behind the BLUFOR lines, and so we'll see. Something to keep an eye on, but yeah, shots going out from the 249 and M2 Humvees on the A2 group, which was Aim of the Balls and Jonathan.
Yep. So I've also noticed a lot of BLUFOR guys spotted some of the OPFOR guys and took cover at the edge of the tree line. You're having the northern group of BLUFOR, it's either Guy Ferrari, I always call him that, or Kane, firing down at the central formation of this L. OPFOR has a really good position here, but I don't think they have the manpower to hold this BLUFOR advance here, so this first line of OPFOR really needs to focus on trying to get as many kills as they can here. But even then, it's going to be bloody. We also had some BLUFOR guys go in the open, and the OPFOR tried to engage them, but wasn't able to land any hits.
This is a surprising move from Jonathan's group. Under fire from 2 armed Humvees, and they popped some smoke, but instead of falling back, they're just holding still. Aim with the balls, try to fire an RPG. It landed.
That was a miss. Another one came in too, and it was another miss. Vehicles are now trying to pull back. A little bit of desync going on, but...
Okay, good. I was checking out that was just me, but that's fine. Probably a lot of calculations on the server with the amount of players we have. And Moxie now coming around with that 240 on the Humvee, spraying down that tree line, suppressing the Red 4 force, and making sure they get their heads down. Aim with the balls going down with a lucky shot.
Wow. Nemesis, by the way, he's one of the only few BLUFOR casualties right now. That's surprising. Usually you don't see someone like him go down in the first wave. That's just unlucky, but, you know, someone has to do it. Meanwhile, no one on OPFOR is dead right now. BLUFOR on 2 kills, Hassinger and Nemesis, so... Still anyone's game at this point. Meanwhile, OPFOR is actually routing their northern group. Those 4 riflemen, they're pushing back to a machine gunner, so that's going to concede BLUFOR to advance a little bit, but not that much. But that's also going to let the northeastern group for BLUFOR start flanking into the central line of OPFOR, as they are also pulling back.
Meanwhile, Yanni and Flying Fin down
Still no
south,
KIA on OPFOR.
Red 4 group. Crawling in.
This is technically the first round, but I skipped the first round, so it's round 2.
We see sometime, or pretty occasionally in German or Central European maps. But they have this line of foliage, and they're just crawling up nice and slow, keeping a low profile, and just trying to work around the current firefights going down.
By the way, my chat has concluded the new poll on who is going to win today. They still voted for the server. The server's going to alt F4 a lot of people.
Apparently, I mean, apart from that one little rubber band instance, so far so good. Which, hey, I mean, Arma is a fickle mistress, and you know a lot about mistresses.
No, I don't. By the way, OPFOR, they got their... you want to look at Tarnfolk's Gaz and tell me what's wrong with the gunner?
Oh, did he get sniped out?
No, he's... Is he okay for you? Because he doesn't really...
No.
He's kind of chilling against the guns, you know? I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's not how you gun.
So yeah, he's turned himself into a contortionist. But if you go to the first-person perspective, he is very much looking down the sights of the peak.
Yeah, so that's just a camera glitch on everyone else's end. Meanwhile, BLUFOR's southern group has actually pushed into the tree line here. We're seeing a few casualties being exchanged. I still don't see any skulls on OPFOR right now, though.
Oh, no. Oh, that's not good. Okay.
What?
Okay, so Danzer was the gunner. He switched over to the AGS, and didn't realize that script did not have any ammo. As it takes fire... Danzer is fucking dead. He took an RPG to the face, or an AK-4 rather, and Tarnfolk is getting the fuck out of there.
So I knew OPFOR was eventually going to try to run interference with that. The issue is when you're driving in forests and you can't really see much, they can hear you coming. So it's really hard to run for that. We have a OPFOR 2-man team, by the way, coming in. It's a marksman group.
And yeah,
interesting.
Danzer, I guess he wasn't aware that the AGS was rescripted to have no ammo, because as we've talked about before, AGSs in PvP are pretty fucking overpowered.
Yeah, you rarely see GMGs or autocannons. We did see a ZU-23 the other day, but that's like the 3rd time we've seen it in like 4 or 5 months, so...
By the way, Sparky says that harems are the way to go, not mistresses.
That's very true, but anyway... BLUFOR, so far, I mean, on the skull list, we have a 3rd skull on Freddy, but so far there actually haven't been that many KIAs yet. OPFOR has been really good in its pull-out game here, giggity, but we do have one of the 4 IB guys getting left behind here. First skull went to Danzer on the GMG, but otherwise, BLUFOR, I mean, it's going to just be a unified push to the flag.
Real quick, we might have another sniper battle, or marksman battle, if we want to be really technical about it. Basebeard is now just to the southwest by 200 meters of Flying Fin and Yanni Fin, looking in their direction, but they don't know that each other is there. Basebeard is looking to the north as Red Forest pulled back and conceded the forest. which is fine. I mean, they're giving up the land, but they burn the clock, and now Basebeard is looking for targets.
Yep.
We'll see if he's able to find our two favorite Finns.
This is a 50-minute round, though, right? Did they not?
Should be normal round time.
Yeah, it's a normal round time. So for a single objective, it's really risky to go for a burn the clock play as the defender, because there's only one objective to go on. So if OPFOR is banking on the clock running out before BLUFOR can get the flag and go turn it into some spot, I don't think that's the best strategy that they can go for. We're only on the 30-minute mark, which means it's been 15 minutes going out. Explosive trap going off for OPFOR, but BLUFOR wasn't moving up to that point yet, so, Bassbeard, he's looking the complete wrong way. If he were to look back on the northern vector, he might be able to see that Vic. He might have just seen the smoke trail of it. He's looking around. He also does have the enemy marksman rifle there.
Yeah, so we might have some PID issues as far as audio, but I'm sure once they start taking fire, they're going to look south and start shooting.
I don't think Yanni or Flying Finn are going to fall for audio miss PID. I mean, Scandi Recon, there's a reason everyone fears them. It's just they have that higher understanding of the meta of the game, so once they hear gunshots, they're going to immediately go on their feet and try to look around and figure out what's going on.
You say that, but they make it to some thicker foliage, and I don't think they're going to engage at all. Which is, I think.
Well, we're watching to see if Bassbeard was going to do it because he was the one scoping them out, but he never got eyes on Yanni or Finn directly. He saw the smoke trail of the vehicle coming around by Mox, which, speaking of, just got engaged by a machine gun. And Mox turned back in. I think he just found the shooter, and he's trying to shoot back at him.
Yeah, so he's trying to return some fire. He's turning out and turning in.
He's turning in to reload his gun.
Yep.
Now he's turned back out.
Yeah, keep his head safe, because that's the only thing he's really exposed with that turret, so...
Yeah, but one shot with 7.62, he will be insta-killed.
Of course. Which is why he's turning back in now and again.
By the way, rear marksman group for OPFOR got spotted and is being engaged by the Echo Squad, which is a rifle squad under 2nd Platoon. I don't see anyone wounded on OPFOR, but they need to push out of that position before BLUFOR potentially sends some units over to try to deal with him. I think they wounded Black back here, but I'm not seeing any bodies. Let me quickly check the roster for anything. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything new on the dead bodies. We got Finn and Yanni going back southwest. Could run into Bassbeard's line again. We'll keep an eye on that.
We're starting to have some skirmishes just outside the city itself. Alpha and Bravo for BLUFOR engaging with Charlie 2 of Red 4. I believe that this is the area where the flag needs to be captured at, so Pyros might try and set up shop in here. A little bit of metagaming, if I'll be honest, but knowledge is half the battle.
How do you know that that's the area where they have to put the flag in?
I believe this is where it was the last time. If I remember correctly, I could be wrong. I could very easily be wrong.
Is this map a rerun?
It says V2 for Are You In Yet?
Huh.
Which, by the way, is a great...
You're right. No, that's what Whale was talking about earlier. It does look familiar. Jeez, I'm dumb.
I mean, it's hard to really see that. Vagrant taking a lot of fire. His gunner is... he's still up. He just turned in, changed seats, probably patching himself up. Benefit of that up-armored Humvee is the glass is very much reinforced. So small arms, 545.
Look at BLUFOR doing a smoke charge here. That is incredibly risky. They're relying on the machine gun to suppress OPFOR. Thankfully, OPFOR isn't directly on the edge of the forest. Otherwise, they'd be very easily able to stop that advance. But that's why they charged the Vic up ahead to see where OPFOR was.
That machine gun is actually doing a lot of work. It is routed.
OPFOR is routed. Wow.
Yeah.
That's...
They're falling back, popping smoke. So this BLUFOR
hot damn
unopposed. So that's, I mean, coincidental. I think they're doing the right thing. But that is surprising. Olaf is still up here in the what is it, cornfield? Yeah, I think it's a cornfield. He's just, the corn has eyes, I guess.
Tarnfolk on the southern side. Bassbeard still having no idea that Finn and Yanni are just to his left. We've got transport trucks for BLUFOR also coming in, and a command vehicle for OPFOR. They've stolen a Humvee, and they're driving it around on the rear of the BLUFOR Advance. That's kind of weird.
By the way, once that is correct, it was less of a route, more of a fallback. It was
true.
A withdrawal from the area. That's a much better way of putting it. I agree.
The French maneuver.
We're taking fire. Retreat!
So Bassbeard decided to do an advance, and now Scandy Recon and Finn have spotted him, and they are taking shots. Bassbeard crippled, and he is taken out.
Damn, yeah, they got around him on the other side, and
he never noticed.
Yep.
Now you've got
Finn. They're pushing up.
Tarnfolk potentially pushing back to check out those gunshots, but no, he's probably going to turn left, not noticing them too much. I think he's just driving down there blindly. Well, he might. That'd be interesting if the two Finns stole that Vic.
We have seen the Marksman rifles able to penetrate the glass.
The windows of the gases, yep.
So we could see some cheeky play. Bassbeard actually wakes back up. A lot of fire coming in.
Yep, he's trying to crawl to that Vic.
Yep,
they're going to quickly try to get him in and go. Tarnfolk getting on the machine gun. Firing blindly, except he isn't on the machine gun. Do you see that?
Lord.
Is that just me, or was...
No, I saw it too. It was the same thing that happened to the other guy.
That looked a little wrong, if you ask me.
Oof, yeah.
BLUFOR is again going to try to do a smoke advance, but here they've got OPFOR guys directly firing on their position. That's not a really good idea. If anything, they probably want to set up base of fire on that tree line, let the other BLUFOR force come in and just cover for them. But advancing too early would be a death sentence based off of where everything is.
Trying walking the gas, they're pulling back east, trying to stick around back there.
You know, I'm pleasantly... Mox is down. I think his car, he finally got shot out of the gunner's seat, but looking at all the skulls on both BLUFOR and OPFOR, there's not that many KIAs yet. Usually you'd by now see like a squad get wiped, because we're at the 36-minute mark, nearly 37.
Yeah. All the maneuvers on the back line for Red 4, going around the rear of BLUFOR, haven't really been effective. And if anything, they've taken more losses than BLUFOR has because of them. So
meanwhile,
real quick, because it's been allowed now to come back into the city, they have a lot closer engagement ranges, a lot more urban areas to defend in, which will be a lot more favorable for them.
So one thing I do see for OPFOR, they have a lot of dudes, which I'm looking at one, but he's not there, so I think he's just glitched out. But there are, actually, I think there's quite a few OPFOR guys that are head-bugged here, but we've got Olaf on the northern side with a marksman rifle. We got two more OPFOR guys, part of command, that are folding in here. BLUFOR also has a few guys that are head-bugged, for example, Salty, so this is kind of interesting. And I got BLUFOR trying to advance in the open again, only to get hit by machine gun fire. And just the coordination of those bursts, that's actually quite interesting. I'm not sure if the server's glitching out or...
No, I'm getting
OPFOR was...
It's like one then the other, and then one then the other. Keeping up and pretty well in sync.
No, I think that was them actually firing that properly. That was some really good suppressive fire in those bursts.
This Delta grip, though, for BLUFOR, pushing out on 4IB, keeping the pressure on them. And they're coming in from the side now, and Westland and Sterling, they're cut off on the roof. How the hell did they get up on the roof? Wait, what?
For what building?
The orange two-story. No, I think they just... they're probably able to vault out the window there, but still, that's very impressive. Something that I was not expecting. Another smoke push coming in here on the northeast side.
BLUFOR is probably going to try to overwhelm OPFOR's forces right here and force another pullback. And then you got Olaf coming on the northern flank, but him being this close, even with a marksman rifle, it's going to be very risky to pull something like that.
Real quick, someone's mentioning the game Squad in your chat. For those curious, Squad is like a very streamlined Arma. It's MilSim-E.
It's just the action parts of Arma, that's it.
Yes.
There's none of the planning, there's none of the debrief, it's the Call of Duty of Arma.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Bravo and Alpha now for BLUFOR. They're just taking more ground.
Yeah.
And it's very well structured. I don't really think, like you said, there's not a ton of casualties.
There's still, yeah. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Fire and movement, but that's about it. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, there's still 35 minutes on the clock, and with BLUFOR this close, I highly doubt we're going to go into a time issue here.
If they're able to get the flag, though, I remember if it was CTF, if they're able to hold on to that flag and maintain possession, overtime will be...
It will go into overtime, but I doubt we're going to get there. Also, BLUFOR with their northern group, that most northern group finally came around, and that allowed some relief. OPFOR pulled a lot of their forces back, and then you had that group that was caught out in the central area to start advancing through. You've got Command being the tail end of this. And you also have another BLUFOR group on the rear. Yep, that is Twig with the other marksman rifle for OPFOR engaging some of the rear elements here. We have Salty unconscious, Black trying to bandage him, Leg took a few hits, but we're going to see if that OPFOR harassment gives him any more. We got Olaf crawling in close, but that's not a good angle you want to be at. And then Tarnfolk still driving around with that car with Bassbeard, who did survive. You've got Finns going on the southern side, running through the open, trying to find some more angles to engage OPFOR, but OPFOR are, not gonna lie, they've been doing a really good job pulling back, and BLUFOR has been doing a really good job going in. I'm kind of waiting to see when the explosive trap is gonna go off. You know, because we saw one detonate, it was way off, but I mean, this would be a perfect opportunity if they know BLUFOR is gonna advance in their positions to be putting some satchels down in some of these buildings and detonating them as they go off. But what I'm willing to bet is we got BLUFOR garrisoning the turn-in point for the flag. We've got the other half of BLUFOR starting to advance, and the northern group for BLUFOR also coming in. Olaf intermingled in the northern group, and he's just crawling around. But I think the northern group's going to try to push for the flag here. And Olaf is in a lot of trouble right now. He is literally surrounded. Trying to use his camo to the best of his ability to stay low. He takes a shot, and no one turns to see what the heck that gunshot was about. Hold up, we got Sideways going guns up, looking in the direction of that gunshot. He's now going prone, but because of that, that's let Olaf crawl away into the tree. Looks like Legal Action might have spotted. No, he did not. So Sideways now crawling through. Sideways hearing that gunshot and immediately reacting to it. But the guy Olaf was engaging just turned and immediately headshotted him. So yeah, Olaf was playing that really too riskily. And
real quick, to the south, 240 Bravo Humvee has been taken out. Rising Kill and Sirius are now popping smoke and trying to stay low. But we have Tarnfolk's Gaz actually retreating. I figured they'd be trying to push the advantage and eliminate this little pocket of BLUFOR infantry. But doesn't seem to be the case.
Honestly, this round's just been textbook of, you know, a few KIAs here and there. BLUFOR's been slowly advancing to the objective. OPFOR's been doing a good job pulling back. I mean, there's not really anything else here to go off of, you know? Just, I guess, the marksman, or anyone for that matter, hasn't been too accurate on their shots, instead going for suppression. And we're trying to see OPFOR pull a few small plays here. Some have... Actually, nothing's really worked out yet.
Yeah, that's been the thing so far, especially with the marksman teams. They've gotten some licks in, a couple downs, maybe a kill or two, but otherwise it's been a lot of firing and maneuvering. Not really any concentrated elimination of people, and I think that's partially due because there's not many assets. Of the assets we saw, was like the Red 4 gases, those got taken out and not quite punished, but
oh my
those
fucking
god! Those deaths so far, I think.
BLUFOR just made a charge and ran Pierce over as he dismounted, and I just witnessed something fierce right there.
Lord. Oh, here we go. Johansson coming up with a truck with a few people in it.
Yep, they're, again, trying to be aggressive with this push. OPFOR spraying them down with machine guns, but none of the shots are really landing. It might also be because the server... I'm noticing a little bit of desync here in this round.
Yeah, a lot of consistent fire, lots of high volume of fire, especially from the machine guns going out. So
server's getting active.
Very unfortunate. It seems like most things are going well, fairly well. Attila getting eyes on Infidel and Severe as this group pushes up through the foliage.
Yeah, the northern group is going to start coming around.
I don't know if they're matrixing through the bullets or what. That's what the truck was for. The truck was to take down all these barricades because they can't hop over them with enhanced movement.
You're right. It said they'd have to use the V key or the ace hop to do it, but either one is pretty slow, all things considered. You got the OPFOR car possibly coming around on the southern side to engage.
Yeah.
But I don't see... Is Bassbeard still in there?
I don't think so. I think it's just Tarnfall. Yeah, no one's in the gunner seat, so he may be trying to solo crew it, but he's not able to run people over. That's one against the rules.
Yeah.
FNF, so he's going to need to switch that turret position to do any kind of meaningful damage.
Yeah, BLUFOR advanced into that barn, by the way. They are all dead, unfortunately. But what's more worrisome is this massive BLUFOR group that's going to start pressuring the flag to the north. OPFOR has some defenders ready to go.
Tarnfox going in the back lines of BLUFOR, just causing some ruckus. Not really going for kills, like I said, but just causing confusion.
He's just being a distraction.
Rocket goes out, hits him in the ass, and he's fucking dead.
Yep. His body comes out. Danzer's body comes out as well.
Well done. That was good.
Yeah, Olaf, you were surrounded. Olaf's in my channel now. He was literally surrounded. Sideways hurt him, but what? Iander was the gunner for AT?
Yep, he was the one who got that gas with his stuff.
There's a reason everyone calls him the AT god, so.
Unless you're in an Apache and you're friendly.
Yeah. We're not supposed to bring that joke up.
Isn't it like 3 years old now at this point?
Well, he's done it multiple times, though, but that's besides the point. Here he is.
True. Bronson, now, he was down for a little bit, but he woke back up over by Apuva with his Echo group on the north side. So this
How much time left?
Is, getting a pretty
20 minutes.
Front going to assault the flag point. We still have a good 24 or so Red 4 hanging around the flag, so it's going to be a hard fight, but extending that front, attacking from multiple directions is going to be the key to victory here for BLUFOR, I believe.
We're on 19 minutes, by the way. I'm looking at the skull count. Ground command for BLUFOR is dead, by the way, so it's going to be up to the platoons to coordinate. But all skulls considered, it's looking pretty even, so BLUFOR is still going to have their slight numbers advantage. OPFOR has a lot of forces intermingled on the rear of BLUFOR and Southern offensive here. They've got OPFOR's got a full fire team back here worth of dudes. But all around the flag itself, there's just a lot of Vanguard units with 4 IB in a building, and they're picking off BLUFOR as they're trying to do a wide flank towards the west. I think BLUFOR, knowing that the eastern flank is heavily defended because their initial attack didn't work properly, I think the northern group is trying to send groups around to find a different way to get to the flag itself, but by dividing their forces like that, it is starting to cost them. Now you're seeing some OPFOR guys breaking off to the west to try to advance on to the north where that BLUFOR group is and potentially surround them.
Speaking of surrounding, Twig King and Shortboy now coming back behind the Eastern BLUFOR push. Twig King actually dropping his SVD for an M4.
I think that's actually a smarter decision at this point. Yeah, confuse the weapon PID. Go for the close range gun. He could do a lot of damage here before BLUFOR realizes what's going on.
We have Hadab, Ursus, and Reapers over here. Just
fucking
like
Nelson.
Maybe 50 to maybe 100 meters away from Twig King. And so
oh, man.
Going to be the first targets as... No, that's different shots. Never mind. But, yeah, that's going to be...
So we got Nelson in the middle of a BLUFOR group. He killed one guy breaching his building. Another guy got dropped outside of it by a different guy. I could see Nelson going up to one of these second-story windows and firing at some of the BLUFOR guys outside. It's just a matter of can he.
With a 203.
Yep, that's the gun he took from the guy he killed. He's just trying to pull security right now, but if he were to check these windows, he could potentially get some easy shots on some of these guys. So he's going to close that window. Excuse me, the door, and he's going to bandage.
Darn, for some reason, thinks that they're a red for... Wait, sorry. Never mind. They're BLUFOR's attacking. I forgot. I'm stupid.
Oh, we got Haha Yes coming around. Fred has his gun down. Now it's up, and he just completely caught Haha. What?
We'll run out of cover with the gun down.
Classic play right there. Now Nelson, he's looking out the window and he's starting to spray yarn down. Epsilon turning around and returning fire. I think that was a bit of a misplay by Nelson. He could have been a little more patient with that because those windows were slightly tinted, excuse me. And he could have just gone for a single headshot snipe without anyone noticing. But now the BLUFOR guys have turned around.
Ooh,
They're trying to engage him.
Yeah, the legal action in sideways up on the north, pulling back. This Red 4 kind of counterattack, consolidating this front. I think Red 4 is going to pull this out because looking at the map, there's not a ton of BLUFOR remaining.
You are
Pockets
incredibly right here.
Scattered. This could be a well-earned victory for Red 4 with the staggered retreat and everything. Nelson takes down Yarn as Edwin
is breaching his building.
Breaching the building, yeah.
Emil goes down, 15 minutes called. OPFOR might hold this to time.
And
Nielsen might hear the footsteps coming down, so he immediately turns. Didn't have his magazine ready.
Ooh,
and they traded.
Trade.
But Nelson could potentially wake back up from that.
Yeah, we could see him return to life, but he's already done plenty of damage. Let me check how many kills he's got.
Mountain, meanwhile, putting some GL rounds into the M2 Humvee. Managing to knock out a few guys. Guys, they're honking their horn, trying to get the BLUFOR guys back in. Vargrant, he's going to have to drive that Vic back. The gunner is down. Steven coming around is going to try to breach Mountain here. Mountain switching to his... I guess Steven only had 3 bullets in his magazine because he did not... He ran out of ammo. He just stopped shooting, so that gave Mountain the opportunity to turn his gun back and switch from his GLs to his regular. Mountain now going to bandage right in front of Ash, and Mountain just noticed Ash was there. Mountain taking out Ash and Harna. Mountain's going to be on like 5 or 6 kills after this when those guys bleed out. He also sees STS. I don't think...
Barely. Oh, it's because there was a flare.
Yeah, he ran out. You also see a flare down right here. It's because Mountain was trying to shoot Steven point blank.
Oh, man.
But that was a funny play by Mountain.
If that was an HE, STS would probably be down from that.
Yeah, definitely. But he burned all of his HE on the Humvee, which wasn't a bad idea. Vargrant, he pulled back and grabbed some more dudes. But BLUFOR, yeah, there's a lot just changed in the past few minutes. They had the numbers advantage. Yep, now you got Scrap trying to spray that Vic down.
But the gunner's still down, looks like. So he's not going to be able to do anything against him.
So BLUFOR, I think this is acquitted to, as I was seeing BLUFOR come in their fire teams and whatnot, a lot of them were going down very quickly. And that did not leave a lot of opportunity for BLUFOR to keep pushing when they kept losing guys. I mean, I just watched Frank and Falcon square it off, and Frank won the fight for OPFOR, so it's just down to the PvP at this point. OPFOR having the defender's advantage, we saw a lot of them kind of getting intermingled with BLUFOR's lines, so people being able to get in there and take out multiple guys before they themselves go down, like what we just saw Mountain do, has been really helping OPFOR win this fight, period. And with 12
interference.
Yeah, with 12 minutes remaining, I mean, just looking at the amount of BLUFOR guys that are still up, I think they're in the single digits at this point. Let's see, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm only counting 9 dudes.
And now a lot of these guys, it's in the middle of these 2 Red 4 groups are surrounded. As an RPG goes out onto Vagrant's Humvee, that's down. Attila kills him as he gets out of the car. And yeah, I'm thinking this is a done deal for BLUFOR.
Yep, Easton getting that double tap. We still have some heavy hitters like Yanni and Finn, but
this might be a bit more for them to, a bit more than they can handle.
Yeah, because they're just a marksman team. We got Sirius and Risen, the other BLUFOR. No, they're not. They were the vehicle crew off of the 240 Bravo Humvee. Legia doing a really good shot right here, taking out one of the guys in that mansion, but he unfortunately gets shot by aim at the balls from his rear.
Ooh, and Larson gets Yanni, who was trying to hide behind a fence, but Larson, I think, saw his backpack poking over and just sprayed him down. And we'll be going for the double tap, I believe. Or just the mag dump. That works too.
I think this is GG. BLUFOR literally lost it in the blink of an eye, and there's only a few guys remaining. It also didn't help that the server was starting to have a few hiccups as the main fight unfolded there, so I can see a case for either way for how this turned sour.
I gotta say,
Puva just double tapped STS.
I mentioned in your chat, so many of them left. They've done their fair share here. I'm counting like about 10 or so kills attributed to this group. Got one on camp, a few on... Attila's got 5. Lance got another.
You talking about 4IB?
Yeah, 4IB. All those guys in the roster. They've got about 10 or so kills attributed to them. And they just got another.
Were you in the channel when they said that, you know, they should also be worried about the 4IB guys as well earlier?
No, I don't believe so.
Because I'm pretty sure Dingo did say to, you know, be careful about those guys too, because apparently they're also pretty high end.
Well, they've definitely shown their stuff.
Puva just pushed SL Dream into a thing of pallets. That was pretty funny.
And the wood has overtaken him.
And I think I just saw another BLUFOR guy get decked on the tree line here. I just can't seem to find the body.
Yeah, and I'm seeing 4 people left. Rick, Finn, Sirius, and Ryzen. Yeah. This was... I mean, it never really felt close, but it felt like it could go either way at the same time. Do you know what I mean? Like,
to me, it felt like it could have gone either way for most of that, then boom. Like, I literally was focusing on one group of people, I scrolled out, and most of BLUFOR was dead. So we just had Flying Fin taken out. Sirius is trying to crawl up. He is immediately getting engaged by Cardi and Lucas from 1ER. At least he was being suppressed in that direction. Now he got Sirius crawling up, but... No, we've also got Rick up. Yeah. But Sirius just got picked off by Aim at the Balls and Cole, yeah? Risen Kill's still up back here as well. You got a Puva, they're double tapping some of these BLUFOR guys, and they're also firing at Rick, he's dead. So now it's just up to Sirius is woken back up, so it's Sirius and Risen Kill at this point. That turned just, I cannot believe the amount of OPFOR guys that are still up this round.
Yeah,
like it was pretty even, and then just boom, changed.
Wasn't a huge, like, there wasn't one particular moment, I believe, that like really threw the battle in favor of Red 4.
It was multiple moments. It was the first attack at the Eastern Barn where 4 BLUFOR guys died in that first push. There was, gosh, who was the guy in the orange house that shot 3 dudes? Took a BLUFOR gun. I'm so bad with memory.
Nielsen? But
yeah, Nielsen. It was Nielsen, but no, he was OPFOR.
Oh yeah.
Killing BLUFOR dudes. Right. And then there was Mountain with the Humvee. And I assume there was probably like 2 more events of that magnitude that just took away 4 or 5 guys from BLUFOR. And when you add all that together, that's 25 to 30 dudes, which would have been about the amount of BLUFOR guys needed to kind of show that balance of power shift. So just a lot of PvP events happened to kind of collapse the dominoes on BLUFOR as a whole, and that's what's kind of cost them today. Because I remember the last time this mission was run, like, eons ago, at least 6 months. This fight was a lot closer. Like, BLUFOR, it was down to, like, 2 dudes. 2 or 3 dudes on, like, either side.
There was a BTR that guy, like, stole in. Like, it was crazy.
It was ridiculous.
Someone in my chat is saying that every time they watch from my perspective, BLUFOR loses, so I just for me.
That's fair, but I mean, Sirius and
I thought with Scandy and TSB both on BLUFOR, they'd have a fighting chance, but evidently 4IB and
4IB is the new kid on the block, and they just curb stomped everybody.
There's a ton of 1RCC as well. Starg, Skip, Erna, Lucas, a lot of, like, these 2 groups combined, like, make up a majority of the Red Force still alive. So maybe it's beginner's luck. Maybe it's another power group to look out for in FNF, which would.
So Attila, just to cut you off, I just saw Attila do a double tap on the M2, and then he just flopped out of the Vic. And he flopped out of it for me.
He's getting back.
He's head bugged. Yep, there he is. But I thought he put a shot over at Sirius's spot. We saw Risen kill throw a grenade, but that elevation, he's going to be able to see both Sirius and Attila. Sirius pushing out and immediately gets tapped by Cardi. That was his last huzzah. You got Risen running out and immediately takes a 50. Manages to kill the gunner, but that's it for BLUFOR.
Have you ever seen Pulp Fiction, Liru?
Yes.
You know that scene where Samuel L. Jackson and Vince Vega, I forget the actor's name now, but they're in the apartment and the guy comes out of the bathroom just like spraying the place down with his pistol? That's what Sirius did. He came out of the cover, trying to do a Rambo, and immediately got shot in the fucking face.
Yeah.
Dropped like a sack of potatoes.
I mean, those are the last two guys that need to get double tap, but that's going to be end of round 2 technically, because round 1 was skipped for technical reasons. So, Apuva coming up to get the double tap. Now Apuva on 6 kills, though most of those were double taps on Mountains kills.
Down
and
by
then
before spawn, Hugo and Pyros are back over there. STS just spawned in? No,
he's going to come in for the clutch. Nope, he's disappeared. He has ascended. He is now going to sneak behind all of OPFOR and steal the flag. Lovely.
I think Hugo's trying to get just some AT practice in, but he might dunk this rocket into the back of Pyrgos. No, they're just vibing over there. But yeah.
And here comes Eason. He's going to get the double tap on Risen, and that's going to end it. And there we go. I don't know what that other gunshot thing was, but yeah. GG.